Hello, y'all, and welcome back for another episode of the Family Business Podcast. As you know, I am Alex, and I am here with my co-host and NFL great, my dad.
Andrew Poncho Glover. To all of our listeners and our followers as well, we are so glad to be back on air after the Thanksgiving holiday where I ate a lot and watched a lot of sports all day long. Welcome back, viewers.
One, two, three, I know beats like ABC. Mine come up, they hate to see. I may believe till they believe. I came up to major leagues. Say you blind, but wait and see. This so easy. 1, 2, 3, ABC from A to Z. Back to raps, I won't miss. Heard the beat and I kissed. Sing a lot, but I switched. Yeah, bet you rappers so pissed. Now I'm high up with the stars. Yeah, I'm on the path up to Mars. Yeah, told me I wouldn't get far. Yeah, how you walk all these bars? Yeah, how this kid fit so authentic? Why did I live that I said it? Yeah, flow is so sick, need a medic. Lies so corny, let's dead it. Yeah, I just prove what I do. Yeah, name was Tom, but no cruise. Yeah, beat is on and I cruise. Yeah, vibe is lit in my cruise. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, I know beats like ABC. Mine come up, they hate to see. I may believe till they believe. I came up to major leagues. Say you blind, but wait and see. This so easy. 1, 2, 3, ABC from A to Z.
So I know this isn't our normal content, but tell me, what was your favorite dish from our Thanksgiving together?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to inform everybody that we were visiting with Alex for her final 2 games of the season on this year. So we were there and we served the Thanksgiving holidays at her place for the weekend. And it was just an outstanding time, even though it was our last 2 games. We went 1-1, we won 1 and we lost 1, but we ate a lot and we watched a lot of football. So I think the gumbo absolutely and positively was one of my favorites that we had on Thanksgiving, as well as the spaghetti macaroni, I think, and the ham.
You just naming off everything.
And the turkey. Yeah, it's kind of hard to single out one thing, but I think I enjoyed eating everything, and I enjoyed watching the games. And most of all, I was thankful that the volleyball season was finally over with, and you guys ended on a positive note with a win, and you had a successful season and came out still healthy. So I was most thankful for that at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, I know you named a lot of the dishes, but you forgot my favorite, the pot roast. I have been craving pot roast for a long time, and I know it is not a traditional Thanksgiving dish, but man, that pot roast hits every time. That and then the pecan candy were my favorite 2 dishes.
Yeah. Well, you can't miss what you didn't have. I didn't have any of that pot roast because it was a specialty that you asked for. So I kind of let you go with that. Everything else kind of got in the way, and I never really got a chance to reach out and get into that pot roast. But everything else was good.
I agree. Everything else was good. My second best would be the gumbo, of course. But since it is not a Thanksgiving special, I'm just going to go with the pot roast and the pecan candy. So Moving on from Thanksgiving, I think we are due for another update for how our teams did. So I'll go first. I can't remember exactly when the last time we came on here was, but I'm just going to update y'all on the last, I'm going to say 2 weeks, because we did play a lot of back-to-back games. So we played about 4 games in a week, really. We had a Friday-Sunday game and then a Wednesday-Friday, the day before and the day after Thanksgiving. So the week before, we played Tulane and Houston. The New Orleans trip was great. You know, they have the best food. So that was a sweep, I believe. And then we turned around and we lost to Houston, who is going into the NCAA tournament. I want to say either tomorrow or Friday. They ended up ranked 23rd, I believe, in the country. So we did lose the 4. It was a hard-fought game. And then we had a fast turnaround, sadly, and we played Wichita, in which we lost in 5 sets, which was, I guess, an upset for their team. But considering the circumstances, we did turn around on Friday where we played Tulsa and we swept them. So we ended the season on a positive note.
Yeah, so what was you guys' total record at the end of the season?
I am not exactly sure, but I know that we finished 3rd in the conference. So I think last year, if I remember, we were tied for 3rd, and this year there were 2 teams tied for 1st, so then we automatically got 3rd, and we lost 5 games in conference in total.
Yeah, I was speaking in reference to totality. I think you guys won 21 games this year and lost 9. And that's the sign of a successful season. And good things, I think, are going to happen next season. So we just have to, we have a long off season. It was a long season leading up to this point. I was very proud of the way you played and the way you carried yourself out on the court. This year, the things that you accomplished off of the court as well, because I hear you're going to be graduating here come next month, and that's an exciting time for everybody. Can we get a little bit of insight about how you're feeling about having achieved the success that you've had in volleyball at SMU and being on track for graduation this fall?
I'm excited. I'm excited to graduate and finally be done with my undergrad and be on track to start my master's in the spring. So it's been a hard, long time coming, but it finally came and we graduated in about 2 weeks. So that's exciting.
Yeah, I think it's been a labor of love. I think you've been in labor with, how to adjust in an ever adjusting world, and how what the balancing act has been like, both athletically and academically, and to finally reach some milestones and to have the opportunity to see what the finish line looks like, and the actuality of being able to walk over that finish line, I know is a great thrill for me, and I know it ought to be a great thrill for you as well.
Yeah. So you'll be there, so you'll be able to see it, cheer me on, and I guess start again in the spring.
Yeah, I think it'll be a proud moment for me. I think fathers and parents in general, have that to look forward to whenever you send your young adult off to college, and the moment they walk across that stage. And that sense of accomplishment, I think, is going to be overwhelming. And I think at some point, I'm getting choked up a little bit about it now, I may have to shed a tear.
Boy, whatever. All right. Anyways, so I guess what else we have to talk about?
Well, being back on track, I didn't actually give you an opportunity to talk about my teams, what my teams did this past weekend.
They probably didn't do much.
Well, starting right off the back and getting it out the way we played, my college team, Grambling State University, played in the annual Bayou Classic before about 63 to 65,000 people this past holiday weekend during Thanksgiving. And we came up short once again. And I think the series, the Jaguars lead the series 25 or 24. And so next year we'll have the opportunity to even the score. It was a good game initially, but I think, some undisciplined plays by the team and some costly turnovers cost us the game. And, that's just it, wrapped up in a bun. Grambling State University finished their season. I think they only end up winning about 3 games. They were a real young team with a new coaching staff. And hopefully change is on the way, and they'll be able to do better on next year.
Did they earn last place in the SWAC?
I'm not absolute about what place they earned, because I was so focused on first. And if we don't finish first, then it's last anyway. So that's what I was focused on at that particular time. But our haters out there love to keep you down, when you have a bad year. So we're not going to allow that to happen. We're going to continue to talk positive. We're going to continue to sow positive into the team, and we expect to get positive out of it. However, my other teams that I did play for and on the winning side, the hat that I'm wearing today, the Minnesota Vikings, they are 9-1 in the NFL now and are considered one of the best teams that are playing in the NFL. And a lot of people is speculation that they may end up in the Super Bowl if they keep playing like they're playing. That my other team, the Raiders, they also came out victorious this weekend versus the Seattle Seahawks, where they won in overtime. They've had 2 back-to-back overtime wins, and they are, getting on the right road to recovering from starting out at a really horrible seasons. But they look like of late they found a way to win games late in the games. And my lowly Saints at this current time have lost again as well. And I don't think there is any hope for them in terms of looking towards the playoffs on this year. So there's a lot of, dissension in the organization. Players who should be playing think they should be playing that are not playing. And that's a lot of distraction, and that could contribute to you losing games. But I don't have to worry about that because I'm always a winner, and I'm rolling with the Minnesota Vikings this week because they are perpetual winners.
It doesn't seem like Louisiana, the whole state is just going underwater right now with your teams, with the New Orleans Saints and Gremlins. So maybe they should try again next year.
Well, I'd like to also say, with the crab in the bucket theory, the LSU Tigers lost to Texas A&M as well. So we're not going to go down by ourselves. And LSU is a Tiger mascot as well. So it was not a good week for Louisiana football teams at all, and definitely not a good week for the Tiger mascot.
Well, maybe we'll try again next season. So on to our next topic is the story of what happened during my high school volleyball career that was ended so abruptly. How should we start this off?
Well, let's talk about the good first. At least you had 2 good years before it all fell apart. Where I think when you were a freshman, you were voted freshman of the year. Whenever you came from 8th grade, you were just learning to play, and you were, I guess, just 24 months into learning this new game. And right away, I think you took to it and you assimilated your talent right into the volleyball game. And, starting in 7th grade and then playing in 8th grade. And by the time you got to 9th grade, having the opportunity to make varsity and to go out and contribute right off the back was, it was a great time. We knew that you had the ability to do it, but to actually integrate your skill set into it, and then also integrate your skill set into a team atmosphere. And that was pretty impressive. And we had a lot. I think it was maybe our funnest time that we've probably ever had in volleyball, because we didn't have a great expectation of you at that time, but you delivered, and you delivered in a big way. And I was glad to be a big time fan and your father during that time.
So right now you're not proud to be a big time fan and my father?
We go up and down with that, depending on how the team does. If y'all lose, then some of those days after y'all lose, I still love you, but I don't really want to be close to you, and I don't own you right now. You just get the losing just don't sit well with me, and I don't like to really be around losers. So hopefully we learn something from those losses, and next time we go out, we utilize that to help us to be on the winning side.
I agree. It was a great couple of first years, and then it ended abruptly my junior year, which actually I won't give the whole story because I'm sure that we're going to insert the TikTok that tells the story of why my high school career ended so abruptly.
Okay, I've been wanting to tell this story for a little while, but I'm going to tell it now while I'm doing my hair for the day, and y'all are going to see why it is so crazy and ironic. So, I did not play high school volleyball, And that was not always the case. I did play my freshman and sophomore year, and it was amazing. And then we got a new coaching staff. As y'all know, new coaching staffs are not always a bad thing, but usually when they come in, they like to switch things around. And one of the things that switched around was pregame meals. So, I don't know if y'all did this in high school, but before this new coach, we used to have like Chick-fil-A and Which catered in, and you could kind of like choose your meal, whatever. So, when she came in, she was like, no, we're going to do it a little different. We're going to have each teammate's parents make the meal and bring it before pregame. So in my head, I'm like, I don't really get down like that. My mama always told me do not eat out of other people's houses if you have not seen it prepared, because some people be having cats and dogs up on countertops, and I'll be damned if I see some hair on my food. And I was a team captain at the time, so I told my coach, like, hey, we're not too comfortable with this. And she's like, no, like, it'll be fun. Everyone's gonna do it. So in the back of my head, I'm not eating that. I don't feel comfortable eating. So, me and my best friend, who was also a captain, called my mom, and I didn't want to be disrespectful to the girl who was making the food. So I was like, hey, Mom, can you bring me some food before pregame, like a grilled Chick-fil-A sandwich or something? And while everybody is first going in there, like, just kind of getting set up, not as a team yet, like, I'll sit in the locker room and eat the food so the girl doesn't see, so she's not like, she doesn't want to eat my food. So I ate my food, I went into the room, sat there for team meal, there was no big deal, nobody said anything, so I thought everything was fine. And then, the next day, she pulled the whole program, so all like 4 teams aside, and sat us down in the weight room. Go to part 2 to see the rest of this. Literally, I still can't believe it. 6 years later. Crazy story. Okay, I'm back. So, she sits the whole program down in the weight room and is walking around like this. So I'm sitting there like, what the hell? So then while she's walking around like a freaking school teacher, she's like, who did eat the team meal last night? So, of course, I'm, like, looking around like, what is she talking about? So as soon as I see nobody else's hands raised because I'm confused, I'm like, me and my friend are like, so this is the part where I knew I wasn't coming back after this day. So she's like, no, you thought you were too good for that? Because someone else on the team, on my team, told her that she saw me sitting in the locker room, because that's a crime, eating food that my mom had brought me, because that's a crime, because I don't want to be eating Mexican food from somebody else's house before a game. Because I don't know about y'all. 1, Mexican pregame? Really? 2, I've never been in this girl's house. I don't know what kind of hygiene she has. And that's nothing against her, but come on now. 3, I'm gonna be gassing it up if y'all see me eat a burrito at pregame. So I was the only one in the program committed at the time to SMU, so she's like, this whole time, you think that you're better than everyone else. You're never gonna make it through 4 years at SMU. Never. So, what we're gonna do from here now is you're gonna sit out in the game tomorrow, or you're gonna run. And everybody else is gonna run with you. So I'm like, running ain't nothing but a thing. So, we all got to run. Since somebody else wanna snitch, we all got to run. So we were running. It was only like 2 laps, which is nothing, so I kept on going. I was like, I'm gonna do more because I'm not gonna make my team and the rest of the program run for me. So I kept running, and as soon as we hit that finish line, my best friend looked at the coach and said, I quit. And I was like, girl, we didn't practice this. I had to wait till the end of practice so that, I have to talk to my mom, make sure I was making the right decision. So the next day I came to school and I was like, yeah, I just don't think I'm going to play anymore. I don't like what you said, that I think I'm better than everyone else, and I'm never going to make it through 4 years at SMU. So I never played again, and it's the best decision I made. And I'm about to graduate at Toys from SMU.
Roughly, But at the time, there was a trend of a lot of club players and top players all around the U.S. opting out of playing high school volleyball, which really wasn't seen, before. I mean, before really me and my class, or maybe a class or two in front of me, it was known for everyone to play high school volleyball. So I think now and then more than ever, there's more girls that are just seeing more value in club volleyball and elite volleyball. I think school volleyball is a mixture of talents. School volleyball is a mixture of, it gives you a chance to get hurt, and you really don't want to do that because a lot of people aren't getting recruited from school volleyball. So, I mean, those are kind of, when I was going through what I was going through my junior year, I just had to weigh out the pros and cons. Yes, I love school volleyball because I got to play with my friends and, it was that camaraderie and meeting upperclassmen and stuff like that. But then the cons came with, okay, it's really not adding too much value. School volleyball, you don't really see a lot of improvement or growth over the season. It really just is that super fun time, especially at my school it was, because my school wasn't known to have, a super elite or super competitive volleyball program in the years where I was finishing up my high school. So I didn't really see as much value in it. And I did run the risk of injury, which I already knew what college I wanted to go to. So I didn't want to mess that up in any way. So.
Whoa. I mean, most volleyball players or student athletes don't commit as a sophomore. So, I mean, going up the scale so fast here and catching everybody by surprise. But I think that you would have continued to utilize that to sharpen your skill set in playing high school volleyball had not it been such a toxic atmosphere from the inside and the disconnect between the coaches and the players and the fairness treatment and the stress related issues that did not have to happen during that time. Those things led you to realize that, I can focus my time and my efforts in another area where I don't have to worry about that as much, where the talent level is at my talent level or higher. And so then you have an opportunity to be in a space with people who think like you, who train like you, who study like you, and you have more things in common rather than being on a high school team. And sometimes the coach's kid might have an opportunity to play, and it's not winning driven. It's politically driven in some aspects, favoritism driven in some aspect. And everybody's just not on that same page. I think in club, then, 80 to 100% of those girls are pretty much, dialed in as to why they're doing that. And their parents are spending money to take them all across the country to have the opportunity for, universities to look at them and them to get an opportunity to go to college and to have their college paid for. So it's two different motives from high school and club. And some of those are some of the things that need to be considered during that time. Was your mental health worth giving up to, try to fit in where somebody was trying to reshape your game totally because they wanted to get credit for it? Or do you spend your time, working on your club and what your club activities, getting better with those girls, going to school and taking care of your responsibilities so you can choose where you want to go after high school?
Yeah, I think since it was such a toxic environment, you kind of have to weigh out if there's a mutual benefit between you and still playing. And I just didn't see the mutual benefit. So while I was taking time off from high school volleyball, I still got time to do my privates and, still get my hands on a volleyball so I didn't lose my skill or necessarily so it wasn't when I got to club, it was like, oh, dang, this is the first time, I've worked out or I touched a volleyball. But I think that I did, I do appreciate that I didn't play those last 2 years because I think some people get in a situation that's so toxic that, they lose love for the game. And I didn't want to be in that situation. And I'm fortunate enough to where I came to college and I was put into a good situation. And I'm still in a good situation to where I still want to play. I didn't lose that love for the game. And I fear that if I would have continued to stay there for the rest of the 2 years, that I would have lost that passion, along the way.
Yeah, I think another benefit of the shortened volleyball high school career is that you had an opportunity to visit colleges across the United States, the Notre Dames, the LSUs, the Georgias, the Northwesterns, the University of Ohio, the UNLVs. You had, a lot more flexibility and time to, kind of figure out what was going to be your next step after high school while you were in high school. And I think that not having the pressure and taking all that time of playing volleyball, you had an opportunity to go on a lot of unofficial school visits so you could eliminate what schools that you weren't interested in and keep and play what school ultimately the SMU that you ended up going to and were interested in.
Right. And I think that I made the right decision and I made it at the right time. And, I don't really have any regrets. I mean, I think I would have had fun if there were still some of my friends that were in the program. And I think it would have been fun. But, I'm still seeing them at school, outside of school, at track. So it really wasn't a big deal at the time. And it's definitely not a big deal now.
Yeah, I think the other thing that helped you were a multiple athlete, that you did run track and field. And not just you participated in track and field, you were tops in the state. And so, that came with another level of pressure, but it came with another level of opportunity as well. Whereas you could have possibly chose your college based on a track scholarship or a volleyball scholarship. So when you have your options open, then you're able to decide which one works best for you. And it looks like right now, by the size of your bank account, you made the right decision. So, Alex, what do you do in the off season, since the season is over with now, to stay in shape?
Since the season is over with, I just pretty much work out when I can, make sure I'm staying on the treadmill, lifting weights a couple of times a week, but mostly taking a little bit time to rest before finals. What do you do in the off season?
Wow.
Or what did you do?
You know what I got out of that sentence? Is that you don't plan on working out very much in the early off season, because when I can it means that if you have an opportunity to ever again. So, it's probably wise to take some time off immediately after the season to allow your body to heal, your mind to heal, your emotions to be worked on, strategically to take care of business that you needed to take care of from the standpoint of being a student and working toward graduation. And, you are an engineering major, so that's quadruple as hard as just, an average degree. You have to be very, very highly disciplined and very, very intelligent to be able to juggle both of those, both athletically and academically, and still, meet your mark where you're supposed to be and stay right along with the rest of the student body. So I am definitely proud of you for that. I know your mom is proud. The community is proud, and people who look up to you, because I think that you are setting the standard for people who look like you, who act like you, who want to be and look up to you as a role model. I think that you are doing an exceptional job for them and making certain that they know how to go about their business and have great success doing that, as well as balance their personal life. But what I used to do in the off season after football season is play basketball a lot and do a lot of running, lifting weights, and working out. I didn't take off a lot of time right after the season. It was always maintenance. The workout was always present. It was whether I was going to be giving 50%, 70%, or 100% to the workout. So you can still work out and give 50% and do maintenance workouts. Maintenance workouts are a part incorporated into the lifestyle. They're not a workout where you go out and you're trying to get stronger or faster. It's a workout where you're stretching and you're doing yoga and you're making certain that your body is feeling good whenever you decide to pick up the pace. So doing a maintenance workout, at least, stretching, getting a good sweat in, and keep making sure that you're in tune with your body is the most important thing at being an athlete. You don't have to work out 100% every single time you work out. You lead up to 100%. Sometimes you can go and work out and do 50% of what you would normally do. And so that's what we call a maintenance workout. For you, Alex, would you rather be the last person in the world or be the best athlete in the world? Would you rather be the last person in the world, or would you rather be the best athlete in the world?
I'd rather be the best athlete in the world. But I don't care to be the last person, because then there's nobody to make food. Meaning that being here alone isn't going to benefit me. I need someone else to help me somehow. Nobody to refill gas. I can't get anywhere.
I can feel you on that one. When the producer sent that question over, then I chose that as well. I would not want to be the last person on earth, because I would not want to be alone on earth. So I would much rather be the best athlete on the planet, which I think I am anyways, because I'm a 3-sport athlete. And I don't just focus on one particular area. I could beat you in a couple of different ways. So there are minimal 3-sport athletes to have ever done it, but to have ever done it at the level that I have competed at and won championships at. So I just want to bring that to your attention so that you will know that going forward, in case you didn't know leading up to this point. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
All right, Dad, would you rather lose on television or win with nobody watching?
That one's easy. I'd rather win with nobody watching. Everybody knows that I'm a perennial winner, and who cares who's watching as long as I'm winning. The world is watching and I'm losing. That's not a good situation for me. There's no positive in that. I'm a winner, and a winner I am.
I agree. I want to win by all means. So
maybe not your brother PJ, though, and we'll be bringing him and his other brother, Big Chris, on periodically, because that's who we are, a family of athletes, the family business.
So on that note, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us. And remember,
if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
1, 2, 3, I know beats like ABC. Mine come up, they hate to see. I may believe till they believe. I came up to major leagues. Say you blind, but wait and see. Just so easy, 1, 2, 3, yeah, ABC from A to Z. Back to raps, I won't miss. Heard the beat and I kissed. Sing a lot, but I switched, yeah. Bet you rappers so pissed. Now I'm high up with the stars, yeah. I'm on the path up to Mars, yeah. Told me I wouldn't get far, yeah. How you walk all these bars, yeah. How this kid fit so authentic? Why did I live that I said it, yeah. Flow is so sick, need a medic. Lies so corny, let's dead it, yeah. I just prove what I do, yeah. Name is Tom, but no cruise, yeah. Beat is on and I cruise, yeah. Vibe is lit in my cruise, yeah. 1, 2, 3, I know beats like ABC. Mine come up, they hate to see. I may believe till they believe. I came up to major leagues. Say you blind, but wait and see. Just so easy, 1, 2, 3, yeah, ABC from A to Z.